Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Aisha. I'm a certified trauma-informed coach and manifestation guide, and this is part 2 of our monthly topic for September, which is how to manifest on a time crunch, and the idea of manifesting within a certain amount of time, or if you're feeling confined by time or you're really desperate to have something in a certain amount of time, this is going to help you understand why you haven't been manifesting it and why you may continue to face challenges if you don't understand this concept. So if you truly want to manifest quickly and you're feeling bogged down, I will also include in the description a digital download for my free ebook, which is a Manifesting Fast playbook. And that will take you through 5 actionable steps on how to change your mindset and navigate the feeling of that pressure to manifest fast. So it is going to be in the description box. All you have to do is put in your email and then you can download it right away. So as per my last video, if you haven't watched it, this is part 2 again. I would go ahead and watch that one first and then come watch this one, because I'm going to be building on some of the things that I said in that video. And as I mentioned in that video, I wanted to come up with a physical analogy for you to understand like what it's already done means and why timing doesn't matter. So I figured, what better book to use for this analogy than The Mountain Is You. This book started my self-development journey in a way that I cannot be more grateful for. Like, to this author, her name is Brianna Weist, I have so much gratitude for the effort and time that she put into creating this book. It's basically, it says transforming self-sabotage into self-mastery. When I read it, some of it didn't apply, and then upon rereading it, it applied, and then upon rereading it again, some of it didn't apply anymore. I don't know if you can tell here on the camera, yeah. I have sticky noted and bookmarked some of my favorite pages. I'm actually still going through, if you see my bookmark there, I'm going through this last chunk to add more sticky notes. Because I love referencing this book. Whenever I'm feeling really blocked in life, I will go through this book and read some of the sections over again just to refresh myself, to get myself back in a good state of mind. So I will have an affiliate link down below to purchase this from Amazon. 10 out of 10 recommend. I mean, this is really the book that changed my life. I read several other books afterwards that also helped me. But if there's any one recommendation, for the past 4 years, I've been recommending this book. So yeah. Now, when it comes to timing, why is this book relevant? Okay, this book is called The Mountain Is You, but we're going to use this as, this is the book of your life. This is you. So from cover to cover is from birth until your unfortunate passing. This is you. So everything that you could possibly ever be, do, or have is in this book. Right? So in all of the pages are all of the possibilities that you could possibly be. And all you have to do, if you want a certain experience, is open the book to that page. So let's say I wanted to read page 47. I don't have to read all the way page 1 all the way through to read page 47. If I want to read only what's on page 47, I just have to open the book to that point. And so if you think about this as, like, again, birth, passing, everything in between, if you want to jump to a certain part of the book, you don't have to do a bunch of steps to get to that part. A lot of times what happens in manifesting is you think that you have to do 10,000 affirmations in order to get your manifestation. You think that you have to do SATs, which is a state akin to sleep meditation, every night before you go to sleep. You believe, if you're trying to lose weight, you believe you have to go to the gym 5 days a week to reach your desired body. A lot of people believe that you have to work 40 hours a week. Or even working up to 65 hours a week overtime in order to become rich. If you believe that you have to do something, then you have to do it to get there. Because that's how law of assumption works. So if you believe that every time you want to read any one of these pages, you have to read it from start to finish, then you have to read it from start to finish. That's the rule you've created for yourself. But if you want to select a different reality on the timeline, again, that reality already exists. Time is something that we perceive because we perceive time as a book. We perceive time as, okay, page 1 of life is year 1 of my life. Page 2 of this book is year 2 of life. And page 3 and page 4 and so on. And you think that you have to live those pages before you get to the content that's on a certain page. You think that your life is already written to go in this specific order for you. You don't believe that you believe that time is linear, that from birth to death is just a line, that there's no skipping, there's no shrinking or expanding of time. You're really bound in the mindset that you're confined by time, and that's just not true. If you were made in the image of a creator who is not confined by time, why would you then be confined by time? The only time that you're confined by is how many days you have on this planet. Unfortunately, we don't really get to decide how many days. I mean, yes, we do have some influence. I believe I'm going to live to be an old lady. I truly believe that. I believe I'm going to be such a fun, cute little old lady. I think like that's going to be so fun. I think about it all the time. I talk about it all the time. Like, I'm going to live a very long, rich, healthy, successful life, and inshallah I will pass away in my sleep in a very peaceful, spiritual way. That's my belief, that's my assumption, that's what I'm manifesting for myself. And so for me, that is something that I've made my truth. I'm gonna make it till the end of my book, and my book is going to be full of memories and full of excitement. But I'm not confined. That book is not already written in terms of everything that I'm going through forward from here on out, and everything that has always been is already in this book, the same way that this literal book is written. You cannot change the content of this book. It has been written, it is finished, in the writing process is completed, and it is published. So your book is not yet published. This is what you have to understand, is when even in Islam, we believe that some things in your story are going to happen. Pieces of you are already, you were born with them. You were born in a certain way with your DNA, and it programmed your personality in certain ways, and you come from a family. You can't change that family that you came from. Those are all things that are already written for you when you come into this world, when you open the book, when you open up to that first page. Those things are already written for you. But your faith can change the outcome. Your faith can change the content of the pages. Your faith gets to fill the book with different content. You get to select which reality you are experiencing. Because time is not linear, time is spatial. So spatial meaning everything in time exists at a point in space. And so from one day to the next, you're not traveling on this line. It's not like scenes in a movie where each image has been captured and it's just on a reel that you're clicking to the next slide. It's not like that. Time is not what we believe it to be. Instead, if you understand time, if this is the book of you, and it contains a version of you that is poor, it contains a version of you that is rich, it contains a version of you that is ill, it contains a version of you that is extremely healthy, it contains a version of you that is single, it contains a version of you that is married, it contains a version of you where you are a circus clown and you ride a unicycle on a tightrope that is on fire. Like, it can contain anything that you desire. It contains all the infinite possibilities of you. I've touched on this in another video. I forget which video. If I remember, I might link it. Probably won't remember. It's all good. I know in my being, my body is capable of athleticism, but my personality is not. I don't have that competitive spirit. I don't have that drive to do really hard physical things. I just don't. My body, if I wanted to, if I woke up tomorrow and said, you know what, actually, I decided I'm going to be an athlete and this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to start training, and if I wanted to, I could. But I don't even have that desire in me. And so because I don't have that desire in me, that reality doesn't exist in my book. It's not one of my pages. I will never be a basketball player because I don't care about basketball. I just don't. And so that's not a page in my book. That's not an option for me. It is a page in somebody else's book, right? If you're watching this and you love basketball and that's your sport, and you love being athletic and you love competition and you feel really driven and you're motivated by like big basketball names, like by all means, that's in your book. That's an option for you. It's not an option for me because I don't desire it. Now, on the other hand, okay, there are physical limitations. If I, for example, wanted to be a certain type of supermodel, where, you know, we all know they're usually very tall, very slender, they usually don't have really broad shoulders, they usually don't have very wide hips, they usually don't have very large busts. Obviously, from the origins of supermodels to what we consider to be a supermodel today, a lot has changed. But I'm talking about if someone is specifically desiring to be a supermodel in the old definition, and they're short, and they're broad-shouldered, and big-hipped, and they're stocky, and they have a big chest, their body does not conform to that. So maybe that's not in their book because they're just not built for it, right? If you are someone who is experiencing dwarfism, which is like a genetic abnormality that causes people to only grow to a certain height and their bone structure is a little bit different, that's in their book. They were born into that body. That's part of their book has already been written. And no, they will never be 6'6" and, you know, normally proportioned if they were not born into that body. So even your body has already been written in your book. And with your body, you can do a lot of things. With my body, I may never be a skinny supermodel because I wasn't built that way, but I could definitely be a volleyball player if I wanted to. I could do, my dad is always, my dad has always joked that I'm built like a female wrestler because I'm built like sturdy. I'm sturdy. I'm solid. I can put on muscle mass very easily. I have broad shoulders. I have strong hips. My bones are very strong. So in that way, if I wanted to do that, I have a physical advantage that maybe someone who is naturally very skinny and struggles with their bone density doesn't have. And again, your book, your story from your birth until your passing is filled with opportunities. It is filled with options for you. It is filled with possibilities for you to choose from. And remember, let's say you do have the mindset of you want to have a goal. You want to, let's say you want to be married to a celebrity. I've seen a lot of these videos come up. It's something I haven't talked about on my channel yet, so why not include it here? If you want to marry a celebrity, you just have to believe that that's in your book somewhere. It's on one of these pages. It's from the time that you were born to the time that you are passing. At some point, that desire exists on one of these pages. You just have to turn to that page. You have to say, it's already done. You have to say, I am already on this page, and on this page, I marry a celebrity. On this page, at this day, at this time, this is when this already happened. And I want you to understand that the book analogy, if you were to write your story of life from start to where you're at now, where the bookmark is now, hopefully it's more like that way and you have a lot more life left ahead of you. But if you were to write your story from the start of it, from when you're born to where you are now, and go back, like, those memories still don't exist on that linear fashion. And so if you want to revisit one of those memories, or if you want to recreate one of those memories, you're not confined by that. You can recreate it in your mind. If I want to remember what it felt like to be 9 years old, I can close my eyes and in my mind visualize, what did my body look like when I was 9 years old? And who were my friends when I was 9 years old? And what did I feel like? How did I feel about myself in that year of my life? And I can feel those feelings like they're real, like I'm really there. And so in the same way that we can go back to the parts of our book, right? If we're right here, we can go back to the parts of our book that were already written and reread them, re-experience them. We can do that going forward, going into the future. We can do that same thing, and you do it the same way. In the same way that you relive a memory that's already passed, in the same way that you choose to go back to a page that you have already written, you can choose to jump forward to a page that is not yet written. And so you do it the same exact way. You close your eyes and you imagine it as if it were a memory. You close your eyes and you see your body the way you want to see your body. You close your eyes and you imagine you are kissing that specific person, that celebrity, and they're right in front of you. You feel in your body, your physical form right here, right now. You feel the tingling of your skin. You imagine, what are they going to smell like? You hear their voice in their ear. And this is something that I did when I was manifesting marrying my husband. I got really deep in these visualizations of like, what is it going to feel as his wife? What is it going to feel like when he holds me and he looks at me and we feel this love and I feel this generation of emotion coming up inside of me? And what is it going to feel like when he embraces me as his wife? And what is it going to feel like when I look at him and I get to smile and go, that's my man? I did that before we got married, and that's how I was able to manifest that marriage. It's something I continuously do. Even, if we have an argument or we have a dispute, it's hard sometimes for us as human beings to not get stuck there, to not linger on one of the pages that's been written, to not continue to go back, and focus on that, and instead go forward and choose one of the many options we have to choose from. It might be hard, but you have to do it if you want to move forward. So I don't spend my time thinking about what we've already done. If it makes me happy, then I will. I will go back through my camera roll. I will look at all of our cute pictures together. I will feel gratitude in my heart for this man who has, taken me into his care and provided for me and brought me experiences I never had and brought beauty into my life that I never had before. I will go back and remember the good stuff because it helps me to project that onto the future. And so wherever you're at in your manifestation journey, if you're on a time crunch, if you're trying to experience something, even if you don't have the memory to propel you forward, you ought to have some similar memories. You ought to have a feeling. Every single one of us has experienced happiness. Every single one of us has experienced love. Even if it's love for ourselves, even if it's love for a friend, you know what it feels like to love someone, and you know what it feels like for someone to love you. And don't tell me that you don't, because even as someone who struggled with depression for almost 2 decades, even I had enough memories in my past of what it felt like to receive that love that I was able to manifest a reality where I'm married. So again, it's already done. Turn to the page you want to turn to and read it. Turn to the page that you want to exist in and live there, be there, right here, right now. You don't have to go back to the beginning to read page 47, okay? I know that this visualization was helpful for some of you. I've been actually really excited to share that, and I was waiting for the right video to do it, so I'm so happy and relieved that I got that off of my plate. If you are feeling like you needed extra accountability to keep yourself in the state of it's already done, I am running a challenge this month for the month of September. It will be a September to remember. On my channel, there will be day 1, day 2, all the way to day 30 of these videos. It's ongoing. If you didn't start today, or I guess I'm going to post this tomorrow. So if you didn't start yesterday, don't worry, it is a forever challenge. You can pick it up at any time. You can do it a year from now, 10 years from now, if I'm still here, if this video is still on YouTube in 10 years. You can come back and do it at any time. And what it is we are deciding and declaring, I am who I say I am, and I'm doing what I say I'm doing, and I have what I say I have, and it's already done. So, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel for more, and hit that bell icon to be notified so that you can participate in the challenge. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!